And Carson was the perfect example of that. He pick and chose when he wanted to say, okay, well, parents was accountable, but then
I didn't pick and choose.
he changed his answer once he realized that I had walked him right off of that ledge, and
That's
I
not
helped,
right.
and it was being hypocritical of
No, it's
how
not.
he was criticizing their parents, but then at the same time he removed his own parents from it, and then he changed his answer after he realized that it was hypocritical of what he was saying.
It's not hypocritical.
So,
Have you
I,
ever corrected
I
yourself?
think it.
Have you
Sorry,
have
real
you
quick. I think
have
it's
you ever
common
corrected
in like.
yourself? Have you ever corrected yourself, Anton?
Yeah, but you corrected yourself
So
after
it's
you
not
realized
hypocritical. It's not
when you
hypocritical
authentically
to
spoke.
correct yourself. That's
When
not
you were
hypocritical.
when listen, I applaud you for admitting that you was wrong, but
Exactly.
when
So
you
that's not
authentically
hypocritical.
spoke, you spoke the truth from your heart because you didn't know where I was going from it, and so you removed your parents from accountability until you realized that it was applicable to you too.
Which is why I said I correct myself. If I really think about it, my parents are at fault. But
Cool.
at the end of the day, a child, regardless if I knew what I was doing or this child knew what they were doing, if you're a child, do they still not need the guidance of an adult or a parent, even if they're a child?
100%.
So it
But it
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
mean
It
that
doesn't matter if I
I
know
think that
what I'm
at
doing.
some point, I think that as children get older, um, they start to get impacted and they do things that is outside of the parents' purview. It's a ton of things that I probably got away with that I should have got caught up. And if my parents had found out, I would have absolutely got my ass kicked, and I would have be held accountable for it. But I'm not going to be unrealistic and act like everything is just surface level. And oh my God, your parents should have held you accountable for it. Now, I was raised really, really great with two parents in my household, and I still did some shit that I probably should have been held accountable for, and I got away with it because I was a boy and I was sneaky and I did what I wanted to do, and I was girl crazy.
But I think there's a difference in what you're saying because like we in America especially, it's a commonality, not a good commonality, but we know bullying is not something that's abnormal in our society, especially in adolescents and children. So
Right.
in knowing that I just think it's okay to again to like be sympathetic and empathetic to the situation because it is a sad situation, but at the same time, where do we draw the line between like okay, you were bullied, that is a bad thing that should have been addressed, but where do we address the lack of self-control in the moments of whatever happened at that
Right.
track?
I
That's what I
agree.
was saying.
Well, Anton, can I actually ask you a
I
question?
Hold
coming
on,
from
hold on, hold on,
a
Jerry.
parent,
Go ahead, Jerry.
him coming from a parent household, he should be in a way better situation because, from my understanding, Austin, the one that got killed, his parents are divorced. So Austin wasn't the one that stabbed Karmelo. So it's like, where is the disconnect with that? Is my only concern if we're talking about parenting, because you would think that the parent household will be able to, like someone mentioned, talking about mental health, being aware of that they'll be able to recognize that, put a stop to it, as opposed to somebody who came from a divorced parent, like a separate household, and he didn't kill anybody, like he's the one that was murdered. So that's my only hiccup with that. We can't talk about culture like two parent household. I didn't know that he was posing with, guns and everything like that, and having guns on the street, trying to be a YN compared to somebody hunting is something.
But I mean, again, I don't. Is that true? Like, again, we throwing a bunch of
I
stuff
don't
in
know.
there that I haven't seen. I've done extensive research on this thing, and I haven't seen anything about any guns anywhere. And it does. I'm just trying to figure out
Everything
where
is
did
on
y'all see
Twitter.
it at?
Everything's on Twitter.
But
Well, I'm just
everything
gonna
on
say,
Twitter is not true.
I mean,
Pull
we
it
can
up.
say that about
Pull
everything
it up.
though. That's what
Pull
I'm
it
saying.
up.
Like we're all
No, we're not
basing
gonna
our
pull it. We're not
opinion
gonna pull
based
nothing
off
up.
of what you just said that there were certain facts in the case that we know are facts, but you only know that they're facts based off of the fact that news outlets posted these things. So again, we're all assuming based off of what's being put online up until we see actual video footage of these courtrooms and what actually is happening.
No, you can actually go and read the police report of exactly what he said happened, and you can corroborate that with witness accounts, and that's much different than digital stuff of people. Man, listen, people put up stuff. I just read something on the internet the other day. It was a video of somebody saying that Gabrielle Union said that she knew that Dwayne Wade was bisexual or something like that. So I'm like, man, everybody is speaking on this. Let me go and find a source, because I always go and look for the source of where this video came from. Now, does that mean that Dwayne Wade isn't bisexual? No, of course he could be possibly bisexual, but I want to know where everybody is getting the information from. So I go on, and it's basically a made up mishmash of videos of people using that as their basis for what she said. And so I couldn't do a reaction video to it because people made it up, and then they played a game of telephone, and then they use a video of somebody that created something, and they made it to be whatever it is that they wanted to be. So all I'm saying is, if we're going to speak on something, I don't mind people having their opinions, but at least if you're gonna reference something, and reference something that's true or something that we can actually substantiate, not something that we heard somebody else say from somewhere else. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so I did look it up, and it is right. They have on Twitter, and there's a comparison where the white boy that died, he's in hunting gear, camo, with two guns, look like they're in the country, and then Karmelo, he's in a bedroom, he got a gun in his hand, and you got so
it's black and white friends. He has a mixed friend group.
But
that's what I'm saying. It's not assumptions. This is like what. So a picture says 1,000 words, but you can read 1,000 words, and that's better than the pictures.
Let me look at it. Let me find it.
And if I'm a parent and I see my child posting these type of pictures, I don't know if they're true or not, so I'm not going to assume that they are, but I'm saying if I'm a parent and I see my child is posting these things, I'm going to be aware of it. I'm not.
And it shouldn't matter if the gun is real or fake.
Exactly.
People saying
what do you mean it doesn't matter if it's real or fake? That's fake as hell.
Absolutely not. Because
that's not even a real gun.
Why are you posting with a gun in general? Why would you think that's okay or that's cool? That's still a
white guy did the
itself.
same exact thing. What are you saying?
No, it's not the same. A hunting rifle with me holding up a deer head.
That's not even a real gun, man.
It's me.
Does it look like a toy, or does it look real?
It looked like a BB gun. It looked like a BB gun or something like that.
Is he posing with it like a gangster?
Yeah.
You know he is.
Then it does matter. Then it does.
Yeah,
like, why would you be posing
the white
like
boys
that?
are definitely going to hunting.
like, come on, you know what I'm saying? People are. Again, it can be a sad situation, but you don't have to conflate the situation just because they both had guns in their picture. The context of the guns matter, and the context
it doesn't matter, especially with regard to this case, because you're conflating two different things. Listen, if I get into it with somebody over here, but then I get into a situation that's self-defense over here, and I wind up killing a guy in self-defense, you can't reference something that's happening over here as two things that come together and assuming that plays a role in whether or not somebody is doing something that they're not supposed to do. You can't do that. So the first thing that y'all do as evidence is that you go on somebody's Twitter or you go on somebody's Instagram to figure out if he a thug or not.
Are you gonna say that? Are you gonna say that somebody's digital footprint has no type of representation of who they are in real life? Is that
representation versus if you're guilty of a crime is two different things?
It is, but you just said
that
it shouldn't matter whether or not the gun was a prop or real. But if that's the case, then you're trying to say that
it shouldn't matter in this case, because if you
we literally tell people all the time the internet is forever and what you put on the internet is forever. But now, in the context of somebody murdering somebody and the fact that half of America thinks that this boy is a thug based off of the fact of what his digital footprint looked like, you're now saying that's wrong.
It is wrong because it has no relevance to this case of whether or not he is guilty or he's not guilty. It has no relevance whatsoever. Your digital
Why are you posting like that when you have a two-parent household and you live in one of the richest suburbs of Dallas, Texas, but you're posing with your homeboys
when it comes to the jobs that you get,
fake prop guns?
Okay. Preventative measures.
Listen.
For the parents, preventative measures.
I hope every last one of y'all on this panel has a clean digital footprint, because I'm gonna hold you accountable. And I'm gonna make sure that I add that into the narrative. If you ever somebody make a reaction video about you, or whatever, two things can be true at the same time. I can't believe that y'all doing this. I am amazed, and I am not even. I'm not even a blackety black. Like, I'm not a person that advocates for somebody based off of their race or their color or their gender or anything like that. But I can't believe that y'all using a digital footprint to justify or not justify whether or not somebody is guilty of a crime. That's two different things.
I'm not saying that
because we know that he stabbed him.
I'm not saying that he's guilty, but you're trying to say that the digital footprint has no influence on who he was in real life, and that is not true.
If you're holding up a BB gun,
social media presence is quite
What about the
literally a
picture of
digital
like-
interpretation of you.
Anton,
What about the picture of Austin with the gun talking about let me catch one of these monkeys at the track meet? Was that fake?
Oh, I never heard about
I
that.
haven't seen that.
I start off by saying,
Wait, hold on. Time out. So nobody here has seen the picture from Austin's page of him posting both two guns, a rifle and a handgun, and the caption saying, "Let me catch a monkey at the track meet." Nobody has seen that?
No.
I don't look into pictures. I look for actual evidence.
Look. I'm not judging based off of the pictures. I'm just asking if anybody has seen it because we're.
But you're asking if we've seen it to try and prove a point. So
I'm not. No. I'm not trying to prove a point. I'm just bringing up something to see if you guys are aware of it or not.
No, the reason why it's relevant and you can use it to prove a point is because if we want to go down that path and start using social media, if what Michael Keith is saying is true, then how can you not leverage his social media to say, well, the boy was being bullied? And how do you know that he wasn't truly defending himself as far as self-defense? If you're going to use social media, if you're going to use pictures, if you're going to use captions as evidence, then how is it not relevant on one side, but it's relevant on the other side?
They do it all the time. People get convicted. Rappers get convicted for the songs.
No. Why is it not good for both sides? Why is it not good for both sides?
Literally, people get prosecuted for things that they've posted on social media.
Why is it not good for both sides? Why is it not good for both sides?
What do you mean good for both sides? I'm not saying don't look at both boys' social medias,
but you completely disregard it.
No, I use an example from both boys' social medias. I use an example from both boys' social medias. That hunting photo was posted on that boy's Facebook,
but that's
and
not
that
the
photo
photo
was
that we're
posted
talking.
on his
That's not the
personal
photo that I'm talking
Instagram.
about.
I use social media from both boys to prove a point that people are trying to compare the settings as the same when they are not the same. You ask, first of all, you know.
Did you just hear what he said? Did you hear what he said, Cam? Did you hear what he said in his caption?
And that can be racist. What does that have to do with the fact that he got stabbed and murdered?
Be able to use that if we're going to use pictures and captions to say, well, of course the boy was probably getting bullied. Maybe
so because he was racist, he deserved to be stabbed?
Is it because he was holding a airsoft BB gun? Did he deserve to be
do you know it's a BB gun? Do you know
he deserved to be condemned because he stabbed him and he's dead.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know.
That's my point. No. My point is, if you're going to speak on it, then keep the same energy on both sides. If you're not going to use social media, then don't use one to disprove one and then one to be able to justify on the other side.
Social media. I'm literally saying use social media.
Okay, so if we're going to use social media, why are you disregarding
real time?
Why are you disregarding the other guy?
Social media is literally used to convict people all the time.
This is exactly why I started off by saying.
Then it should also, if it's going to be used to convict people, then it should also be used in its innocence.
Well, I don't see nothing about Austin online. So if you can, Michael,
but
if you can.
This is a
I've seen that on Facebook.
This is a prime example of why I started off by saying, to me, this is not a black or white thing. I don't know anything about pictures. I don't need to see the picture. This is not a black or white thing. And this is the problem. We're going to go on forever and ever if we make it a black or white thing.
It is. Hold on. Wait.
It's not a black or white thing.
It is a black and white thing.
It's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not a black or white thing.
This is a human.
How is this a race thing? Why do?
I don't agree with the race thing. I don't agree.
It's not a black or white.
I think people make a lot of shit into a race thing just to stir shit up. This is not a race thing. It's a character.
It's not.
Can I speak, please?
Go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
Let me break this down.
Wait.
So
Carson didn't finish. Let Carson finish, then Michael can go.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm saying is it's not a black or white thing. So I don't know anything about pictures, but if y'all are saying that Karmelo posted these type of pictures, right? If I'm his parent, I will check him on that. If you said the white guy, McCaff, he posted something else crazy. If I'm his parents, I would check him. It's a parenting thing, man. It's not a black or white thing. It's
Parents.
his parents should have checked him and say, "Hey, why are you talking like that? You go to school
My
with
parents.
black and white people. You go to school with these type of people. Why would you post these things? This is not cool." If I'm the other guy, I would say, "Hey, you know how they would perceive you. Don't post these type of things. Whether it's a BB gun or not, son, you should not post it because they might think something that's not true." That's a parenting thing. That's not a black or white thing trying to punch them together. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, I think it's a little bit of both,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna speak yet. I'll reserve my comment. Go ahead, Michael.
Listen, so it is a black and white thing, right? And it's not a parenting thing. We're talking about parents, right? All kids want, for one, don't have parents, right? Some people don't have parents, and some people don't have parents that care, right? So if you're a child, right, and you're going to school, whether it's an all black school or a mixed school, right? In this case, this kid has two parents, so obviously I'm not talking about him, right? But in most cases, like in my case, for example, I went to a black and white school. I dealt with a lot of bullies, black and white, and I dealt with a lot of racists, right? So a lot of racist white people who called me the N-word. I had one racist kid punch me in the back of my head. I ended up fighting him. Like I had a lot of these type of situations in school. So I can relate to this situation from a personal perspective. And it is a black and white thing because of what was said, right? So it's, if you look at the caption of Austin and what he's saying, he's talking about race, right? So he mentioned the word monkeys,
You're
right?
gonna have to
So
find
that's a
that big dog.
You don't have to, Michael.
Yeah,
You don't have to
that's a
find it.
race.
You're
That's
gonna
a
have to
race
find
thing.
that. You're gonna have to find that.
That's not a person to person thing. That's a race thing, right? And also another reason why this is a race thing is that we are black people in a white system, in a white society. So everything will always be a race thing. The race is never out of the question when you're black in America. That makes no sense. Anybody who argues against that is either a lover, like you love white society, you love white America, right? If you're black conscious,
And you're a victim with
if
that
you're black conscious, you
That is
understand that.
victim mindset. That is
Michael,
a
white
victim.
lover
It's
is
not victim
crazy.
mindset. It's true.
That
It's
is a
true.
victim
Hold on,
Live in
mindset.
a white
wait.
society.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
The law
Michael,
system,
I'm gonna
the
tell
law
you.
system is ran by who?
That
Mike,
Hold
I'm
is
gonna
on.
tell
Give
you
me
right
a
now.
second, Michael. I want to give
Michael,
Jazz an
I'm gonna
opportunity.
tell you right
Hold
now.
on, y'all. I want to give
Yeah.
Jazz an
You're wasting your
opportunity to
breath.
speak.
Let's
She's been
go. 'Cause
quiet.
I'm ready.
No, when it comes to what you're saying, Michael, I totally agree. I understand exactly where you're coming from. But what I'm gonna tell you right now, you're wasting your breath. On this platform, this is not the language that they are receptive to, right? You will be
Yeah.
called a victim. You will be called
I
believing
can
a
be
lie.
called a bigot. That's fine.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm saying. Let that go. Keep it very surface level, because that's where we are here. And anytime you do
You
bring
can't save
up,
him. You can't save him.
no, I'm just saying, I'm just letting you know, bro. You can do what you do, but I'm telling you right now,
I ain't
speaking
worried
the way
about.
that
I
you
ain't
were
worried.
speaking,
Listen. I ain't worried
speaking the way
about. I
that
ain't
you were
worried about
speaking.
nobody. I ain't worried about nobody who's worried about white validation.
Oh, I totally agree with you.
I,
They don't think that
Validation
exists.
is
I definitely want.
crazy.
They don't think
Oh
that
my God.
exists.
I
They
don't
don't
understand
think
how
that
saying that
system.
something is a black
One
and
mic.
white
We gotta do
issue
one mic.
Wait, can I
We gotta do
finish?
one mic.
Can I finish real quick?
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Jess.
Jazz.
They don't believe. You said, Michael,
Who's
that
they? Who's they?
I mean, the people, about 90% of the audience watching right now, and then also half of the panel, do not feel that systemic racism is real, or that it's an issue, or that we
What?
are under. Wait, just walk with me now.
She's on
Or
your
that we
side,
are.
Michael. She's on your
What?
side.
No,
That's
just
not the
listen to what I'm
topic.
saying. Listen to what I'm saying, bro. You're
This
not wrong.
plays into account into this topic. A black kid killed
You're
a
right.
white kid for potentially bullying him by being racist. That's what this is
Well,
about.
I did a little bit of research,
But they
and
don't
so
think that
hold on,
racism is real.
wait,
So it's a waste of time to even.
hold on, wait. So I did a little bit of research,
Trying to help you, bro.
and from all accounts, it looks like the photo was fake. First of all,
One.
right? So this also speaks to the problem with the black community, because you want to be a victim so fucking bad.
It's
You
not
want to
about
be
being
a
a victim.
Give me a second, kid, because you asked us for grace and to let you speak, and so I cleared the way for you. So now you got to be able to allow for me to be able to speak also. You want to be a victim so fucking bad that you would use a fake photo to try to justify your point. And I actually was like, you know what? If it's real, because yeah, the whole monkey situation.
How do we know if it's real or fake?
So how can you use that? And then you got me defending this dumb shit.
Listen. So it's the same with the photo of the black kid. We don't know if it's real or fake, but we're
No, that's a
using
real
it in the
photo.
conversation.